Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Skating, beating, deedle. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? This is our theology video. Mr. Tittle, that's a creepy guy. Would you please give us a good grade? A B would work for us, but an A would be better. We have a lot of information. I know it's not that creative, but it's okay. You better love it. Skeetin' deetin' deet, beatin' skeetle leetle, beetle skeetle leetle, skeetle leetle leet, Scooby Doo scary guy, skeetin' shaggy Scooby, skeetin' deetin' deet, deetin' deet deet deet, skeetin' deedle deedle. Boop.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. Blast! It's that damn heretic called Theology. No doubt he's going to come over here and try to impose his cheap Persian cologne and his insane thoughts about God. Ugh.
Clive Lewis, you old bag. I haven't seen you in ages. Used to believe all that crap about an all-loving God? Ha! I used to love disproving all your idiotic fallacies back at Melvin.
Theology, you legitimately have the most nonsensical name I've ever heard of. But your ridiculous love of logic should be able to comprehend this argument. Do you agree that God is proposed to be a being of which nothing greater can be conceived?
Well, I suppose. Ah, my pencil!
I'll wait for you, sir. Well, suppose you also consent that it is better to exist than to not exist in understanding.
Well, I suppose. If all my girlfriends were not just imaginary than life, then would be more entertaining. I could actually,
You never were a ladies' man, but alas, sir, I've trapped you in a net of logic. If God is the ultimate being of which nothing better can be conceived, then he must exist in reality. Because if he exists only in understanding, then God is not the being of which no greater can be conceived.
Clive, that is a complete logical fallacy. Just because I can imagine that my girlfriend is Olivia Wilde, as obviously she is the perfect wife, then however, just because I can imagine this perfect wife doesn't mean she exists. Oh, smack! That's right, Clive. Get ready for another beatdown, because here comes my argument. Religion is a conspiracy, Clive. It is the opiate of the masses, and you know it. Oh, my pencil! The only purpose of this religious order is to give the poor people something to look forward to, and to give them a reason to be satisfied with their pathetic existence.
You're ridiculous. The church is nothing of the sort. Since you did not accept my first argument, let me propose another. This one is a mathematical proof, so try to understand. Will you accept that everything in some way, shape, or form is in motion?
Well, of course.
Good. Then I will assert that nothing can move itself, and that everything has to be set in motion by something else. Is this true?
That's understandable. Blast! My pencil! Gosh darn.
Well, then something has to have started everything. There has to be something that started everything else. Something that wasn't moved by anything else. This is the unmoved mover, and this is God.
God, you're such an idiot. Why do you call the Big Bang... What do you call the Big Bang Theory, then? There's your unmoved mover. Can't you see there is no way to truly prove the existence of God? Allow me to tell you a story, my friend. Once upon a time, there was a strapping young lad named Oedipus. He killed his father and got jiggy with his mom. The end. This story is like the religion. Do you realize that you Catholics are cannibals eating Jesus' body and drinking his blood? You heathen! These religious traditions are just examples of totem and taboo. You believe that by committing in this normally intolerated act, you are saving yourselves from death. But in reality, you are just afraid of dying. Religion is the product of humanity's neurosis. Only the wise people like yours truly have realized this reality. We are no longer afraid. We have created a secularized society. We have our own laws and courts to hold us accountable. We have science to explain our mysteries. We don't need God anymore. In fact, your God is dead, and we have killed him.
Sir, your argument may discredit some religious arguments. However, they are not mine. The idea of this ultimate wager is vulnerable to your weak threats. The theory I'm referring to is based on arms and fear.
Ah, my pencil!
Are you ready, sir?
No, I'm sorry, this blasted pencil.
It's just so slippery.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The theory I'm referring to is bulletproof. I'm going to reiterate. Okay, so it assumes that the eternal life is the only goal of humanity. And it states that if no one believes in God, then they stand to gain nothing and to lose everything. If one believes in God, then they stand to gain everything or lose nothing. Therefore,
Yes.
it makes more sense to believe in God, because you stand to win more. However, I have many arguments. This one appeals to your human nature.
Yes.
The first, it begins with a story about a bro in a field, and he finds a watch, and he assumes that since watches are complex objects, it must necessitate that a watchmaker made the watch.
Yes.
The watch, like the universe, is complex.
Ah, my pencil!
Blast you with your damned pencil!
I'm sorry.
The universe is also complex, like the watch. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Therefore, there must be a universe maker as well. This universe maker is God.
This argument is a slippery slope, Clive. It doesn't allow for any coincidence. And you forget that we have a universe maker. All hail the Big Bang.
Fine, then. I will present you with but one more argument. You might call it my life's work. I propose that all humans feel the urge to do good things and to follow a basic moral code. This code is not a herd reflex because they feel guilty when doing things that don't directly harm one another. It's not self-preservation. This guilt, fear, and discomfort must be directed at one being. They feel guilty to one being. This being is God.
That's Schaefer! I'm not dealing with this. You can't argue with the AP board. I'm leaving.
Oh, hello! It's me, Harry C.
I'm not sure how you got in my house, sir, but I am working on my Macintosh, which is superior to any other computer.
What, hello? I have been following your works for very, very long years, and I have questions about many of your rules. But I'm curious of how Jesus' character fit into the whole equation.
Well, I don't really think I can define Jesus in a couple of words, but the Catholic Church, though, does their best, and I will give you that definition. They believe that Jesus is one person with two natures, human and divine, and that these natures are at the same time unmixed and unseparated. However, without confusion, without change, without division, without separation.
Oh, okay. But excuse me, please, sir, but that makes no sense at all. You are just contradicting yourself.
Yes, I know, but it is impossible to truly grasp Jesus. The divinity of Christ is impossible unless you truly believe it. If you do get to that point, then all of the contradictions don't matter. and it just makes sense. Do you understand?
Oh, no, not at all. Not one bit, sir. I give you some other ideas. Have you heard of Gnosticism?
Oh God, okay. But yes, but I assume you're going to tell me all about it. So go.
Oh, well, you see here, thank you very much, sir. The Gnostics believe that the world has bad from the start. They thought that creation was an evil act. They thought that Jesus was the first clone hero of God that was created. And that we are all clones of God that slowly and slowly got farther away from the model God that we started out with. Jesus is good hero, you see, and we are bad. The world is bad. Dualism, another part of Gnosticism, you see, added that the entire spiritual world is very, very good, and that the real world is very, very bad, you see. Hero, these are completely separated.
That sounds so ridiculous. So you're saying that in some way, we are all a little bit like God.
Yes.
But by the same way, with almost 7 million people,
Yes.
we are all completely evil. We would have almost no amount of Jesus in us, is that right?
Oh, yes, very good, sir.
Well then how do you explain people like Mother Teresa or Mark Miller? These people are all future saints. How is it possible that they have almost no good in them?
Oh, hero, you see, I don't know what to say to that. You are right. Let's see, have you heard of Ebionism?
No, but you're going to tell me.
Oh, of course I will. The Ebionite